Hey, this is Elon. Hope you're having a good day. And today I'm joined by Louise. And, I was really excited for this today because myself and Louise had been working together for just over 8 months. And honestly, I think like her story is going to be quite inspiring for a lot of women. Louise, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Elan. Thanks. Very good.
Good stuff. How was your trip to Monaco?
Trip to Monaco was a trip of a lifetime, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Totally enjoyed it.
amazing. Good stuff. I've never been there, but it's definitely on the bucket list. I've seen it in Formula One a lot.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely. I mean, we're talking about going back, if not specific to Monaco, but somewhere down along. You know what I mean? Down along the Riviera there, definitely.
Nice, good stuff. Sweet. So really interested to just kind of hear about some of your story and be able to share that with some other people. Because as I mentioned, I think a lot of people will find it inspiring. So would like to kind of dig into that a little bit.
Mhm.
So, first of all, I was just wondering before we even started, working together, why was it that you were struggling before joining my 8-week program?
I suppose perimenopause hit me all of a sudden. It just came out of the blue, and I honestly, I'd say I was probably struggling for maybe 1.5 to 2 years. I had gradually put on a stone, which I couldn't shift doing the normal things that I'd previously done. And I suppose it was trying to come to terms with not being able to, what I had previously done wasn't working. And then all the symptoms of perimenopause and, trying to, how do I sort of make things easier and, help them or whatever. And I suppose I was busy in work as well. And I just think, just became totally overwhelmed with everything, as if to say, nothing's working. What can I do? Like that's.
Mhm. Well, yeah, thank you for sharing that. And so there's a lot of different things that, kind of popped up over those couple of years.
Mhm.
So like I'm interested to know like what was it then specifically, let's say with perimenopause that you were struggling with, like what were you feeling in terms of symptoms or, how is that affecting you?
Um, Definitely. Well, you'd say weight gain, right? But then you'd sort of wonder when you read things, is that really a symptom or is that just a whole, do you know what I mean? A collection of all other things that happens then as well. But definitely the anxiety and hot sweats and the poor sleep, they were a big thing. I mean, I've never had an anxiety attack in my life. And the first one I got was like, I thought, Jesus Christ, I'm having palpitations, or, it was just a weird feeling.
Yeah.
And I suppose the whole lot then, you get a bit overwhelmed with it, and lack of motivation then comes out of that, because you think you're not getting anywhere.
Hmm. So you were kind of just going around in a bit of a circle for a
Yeah,
couple.
yeah, sort of in a lost circle as such, because what I would have previously done, and in fairness, like at the beginning of COVID, when we locked down, we were all walking a bit. I had actually got even fitter, you know what I mean, and more toned because we'd walked a lot and everything, but just it didn't seem to be twigging this time around.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's a super common thing. A lot of people, say to me that they've tried so many different approaches, but
Mm.
the real issue is that, they're not sustainable. It's like something they can do for, a couple of months or a few weeks, but ends up just being not something they can continue with. So,
Mhm.
before we started working together, do you feel like some of the things that you had tried that just were maybe kind of quick fixy or maybe not sustainable long term?
Yeah, quick fixy, all right, definitely. But then I suppose what you don't realize either is the fact that you're getting older, your body is changing. What worked back then doesn't necessarily work now. And I suppose a bigger in hindsight, a bigger education was actually the food plan,
Hmm.
where you presume you're supposed to be, eating low this, eating low that, where in actual fact you're probably doing it wrong, when you consider what did work.
Hmm. And I know that's something that you said to me before, but for anyone watching or listening, like with the approach with the food plan, how did you find that? Was it like you were eating more than ever before or restrictive, or what was your experience with it?
Yeah, when I started first, I sort of went down, and what I wanted to do was, you'd given me the plan, and I said, okay, I want to have a look at this for sort of, I'll start it next week, you know what I mean? It'd give me a chance to try out a few bits and pieces and just see how it was going to work. And to be honest with you, after the first week, it was like, I don't eat this much normally. you know, and yeah, and it was,
So you were eating more than
I was
before?
eating more, yeah, definitely eating more, but I ate what I wanted of it, you know, that sort of way if I was hungry, or, but it was easy in that you could, like, I know I said to you before that I still love it and have it every day, is the yogurt, the berries and the protein powder, you know, and it's just, that's my go-to. I make up a bowl of it in the morning, and if I snack during the day, it's what I take a couple of spoons for if I wanted to. But no, definitely as the food plan went on, it's very easy to do, even, you know what I mean, with your normal day-to-day cooking and eating and everything. But I honestly say I was only a handful of times was I hungry, and that's purely because I didn't consume the amount of calories, you know, come the end of the evening or whatever, I was hungrier. But then you have it left. And I mean, as I said as well, like, you don't feel deprived or anything, because you're still able to enjoy the weekends, you know, if you save a couple of calories during the week. And I certainly didn't cut out my glass of wine at the weekend, or, you know, that type of thing. So I didn't feel restrictive, I suppose.
Yeah, amazing. I think that's super important for people to know as well. It's like, I won't say every weekend you were drinking, but it was like,
No. Occasionally, on an occasion.
it was like every, what, 2 or 3 weekends, you know, you were definitely enjoying yourself and
Yeah.
having time.
Yeah, meeting friends or whatever, and having a bite dinner out or whatever, you know, and a glass of wine or two with it, and that, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, amazing. So I'm really interested to find out, and I love asking people this question. Before we started working together, what were you maybe skeptical of before investing in the program?
I suppose I was skeptical in the beginning, I suppose. Like anything, you're sort of, you're Googling, you're on Instagram, you're looking at different things, everybody's giving a quick fix. I had previously got these powders or whatever, and ended up putting them in the brown bin, like for the compost, you know. But I think there were more detox things than that. But it was just, I suppose I probably followed you on Instagram with that for a couple of months before I actually plucked up the courage to sort of, you know, do the one-on-one. I think the fact that you were Irish made a big difference as well. Don't take me up wrong with that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You were local enough, and I looked at through your website, and, you know, obviously your reviews and everything like that. But definitely the one-to-one, you know what I mean? That one-to-one chat did definitely make up my mind, you know, because you look at so many things online and you're sort of this, that, and it all seems to be, you just go to the end of it, you know, put in your card details. You don't really know what you're going to get until, but actually to speak to somebody and discuss what you're going to do and discuss you and your issues or whatever, definitely made a big plus, without a doubt.
So that was the initial consultation where we just had a chat about your goals and
exactly. Yeah, and as you say, to see if it's a fit for you to work with me to work with, you know what I mean? And definitely, that did make a big plus.
Nice, amazing. Cool. So in terms of results then, obviously, you know, you've done the 8-week transformation program as well as the 6-month program, the 6-month Fit and Fabulous. So what was like your first big breakthrough from the 8-week program?
I suppose it was when the leggings that I started and it started to be a bit too big for me. That was because I had said, and you know, on your recommendation, not to use the scales. And after the couple of weeks in, and it was just the leggings, and I was like, this is brilliant. These are just, you know what I mean? The waist is too loose and I need to get a smaller pair and the whole lot. So I suppose, like, I knew I was toning and that, but it's just when, I don't know, it's like everything else. You just put them on one morning and it's like, oh, you know, these are definitely too big. You know, I need a smaller size. So I suppose that was the big realization. But I suppose then the first measurement, you know what I mean, the 4-week measurement definitely did too. It sort of gives you the incentive to say, I think I lost like 12 centimeters in the first 4 weeks. So then it was like, I can do this now, you know.
Yeah, it's so important to see some success early on, and then that just gives you your motivation to be like, oh yeah, it's actually working, and just keep going with it.
Yeah, totally gives you motivation. Yeah.
Nice, good stuff. And then, you know, over over the first 8 weeks, then what were some of like your specific results that you were pretty happy with?
Well, I definitely got stronger. I mean, I definitely got stronger. I increased the walking a lot. I walked, you know what I mean? What we started off, you sort of say, oh, 3K walk or 4K walk. So I sort of bumped them up to between a 5 and 6K walk most days. And to me now, they do that in 50 minutes or just under it, and that's my walk now, you know what I mean? So and below that now is sort of like a stroll. But no, definitely the strength end of it too. I mean, you know, I did get quite strong. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I enjoyed getting fit and getting results, that end of it. And I suppose it was as well that it was easy done. You know, I initially started off saying, right, I'm going to try 3 workouts and 3 walks a week, but fairly early on I was doing the five workouts and 5 walks, you know, and quite happy to do it and not feeling, you know, under pressure or tired or anything like that. You know, it was very doable.
Yeah, amazing. And you're definitely on the higher end of the spectrum. Like for most people, I'd say, you know, aim for maybe 2 or 3 workouts per week. So the fact that you're able to get 5 done consistently was amazing. And you know, you were very consistent with classes as well. You know, I'm pretty sure you came to like every Wednesday morning class for nearly the whole of the 8 months, apart from holidays and stuff. And then obviously you were doing your own sessions as well. So, you know, that consistency, you know, makes a massive difference. And so like over the full eight months of us working together, are you happy to share maybe some of the results that you got?
I'm delighted to share them. I mean, at the end of the 8 months, it was like 46 centimeters lost all over. My thighs across my back and my thighs would have been the biggest surprise, you know, because I didn't think that you know, that would move as easy or whatever. So in fairness, I did get a fairly overall loss of centimeters, if you know what I mean. And then 16 pounds, which I was over the moon about, because in the initial 8 weeks, I did get on the scales and I had lost 3.5 pounds, but I couldn't believe it because I had felt as if I had lost about 10 pounds. You know, I felt and I looked as if I'd lost 10 pounds. And then I know you're explaining about the scales and that, like, it didn't bother me that I was only 3.5 pounds because I looked as if I'd lost 10 pounds, you know, so it was irrelevant, as you say, what the number on the scales was.
Yeah, because in the first 8 weeks, you lost like nearly a full clothes size, wasn't
it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of how, you know, the weight in the scales mightn't come down a lot, but because you're training more regularly, more active, you know, it's like, it's not about how much weight you lose, but when you see it, you know, physically in your clothes and stuff, because that's what's really important.
Yeah, it makes more sense and it's more pleasing, I suppose.
Yeah, so no, that's amazing. And you know, do you feel like the approach we took, it was something sustainable, you know, that you can maintain now for the rest of your life?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. I actually did branch out and I bought the set of 10 kgs, so I've started them last week. just a couple every now and again to add them in. Nice. So I have them, and I've actually sat down and I have put together a mix between your 8-week, your 12-week, or your 6 months, and then the last one you gave me. So I've done sort of like a Monday to Friday workout myself. So it's still like 25 minutes, half an hour with a warm up or whatever, and just doing something different then every day. And I'll do that for a couple of months then. But I'm quite happy to, you know, and even this morning after the bank holiday, it didn't feel, you know, it was still part of the program. I was still up to do the workout like before work or go shopping or whatever, you know. So it's hopefully it's ingrained in there now, and it'll
for sure
continue. Yeah,
that's really good. Yeah, and something we didn't mention, you know, that I think people will be surprised by, you know, that your age, obviously 21 now, just turned.
Yeah. With the VAT.
Yeah. But you know, I think a lot of women, especially that I work with, they, you know, it's so ingrained just in, you know, culture essentially, that the older you get, it means that you're not going to be able to get to, you know, a certain level of fitness or health or strength or whatever. But you're a perfect example of how, you know, when was it that you turned 50? Was it last year?
I was actually last year. Yeah, I turned 51 in February gone.
So you turned 51 and like you did your first pull up. Monaco, right?
Mhm.
And you can do full push-ups, and you're doing weighted versions of like every exercise. You just went out and bought the pair of 10 kg dumbbells. So you've progressed from using 5s, 7.5s up to 10s. So it's like you're a perfect example of how you can get really strong, more flexible, fitter, healthier, and it doesn't really matter, if you're in your 20s or in your 50s. Like, just about finding an approach that is, I suppose, manageable and something.
Exactly. Yeah. And what suits you. And I think the biggest thing, as you know what I mean, of your program and the whole lot, as I said earlier on, and it's doable. Do you know what I mean? And it's done in stages, and it's not like, you're looking at this huge big, and it's, exercise regime and everything, and it's just overwhelming. Like, it's like, as I said, when I started and just into it, like, okay, a walk is 50 minutes, your workout is 30 minutes. If you can't give yourself 80 minutes a day, what's the point? It's very doable. Yeah. And it's nice to get into a routine of giving yourself those 80 minutes a day,
Yeah, definitely having some self-care time.
Yeah.
Nice, good stuff. So the last thing I want to ask you for today is, who would you recommend either my 8-week transformation for or my 6-month program for?
Everybody. Short and sweet. Absolutely everybody. I would be, regardless of age, gender, ability. I mean, I'd say, to be honest with you, I'd say you would you tweak it for everybody individually, So, I mean, I'd be very surprised if somebody can't reap benefits from it, And as I said, it's not killing yourself. It's a little bit of dedication. I know I did say to you before, and what I think is a big thing is that to me, the 8 weeks was like it was like the sort of the training end of it, the education end of it. And I know I got great results, but the results I got in the 6 months after was like double or treble, So like that really, it just, everything upped and upped and upped, the further I went along, So I think, the 8 weeks is great. It's doable. It's, you know what I mean? It's a great boost, but it's the next couple of months that you'll really, really reap the benefits of it. That's my personal opinion anyway, definitely.
Nice. Amazing. Well, it's been great to chat today, and I really appreciate you sharing all that. And I'll end the recording here, but we can have a quick chat after as well. So thank you so much, and wishing you all the best for everything in the future.
Perfect. Thanks, Elon. Thank you.
You.